So what we're going to show you here is our Paleolithic ancestry. So 99.9% of your ancestors evolved in this context, and this context is different from now. So there were always relationships of some kind. They might have been polyamorous, they might be men, women. There's some kind of intimate relationships that was necessary for reproduction. It didn't always look like a man and a woman. It might have been several people involved, but just for simplicity, we're going to have two people. These are our loving Paleolithic couple. If you imagine them in some sort of leopard skins and sort of nice things like that. However, here's the really important thing to understand. Anyone in the Paleolithic context had a community around them. So they weren't an isolated couple like the modern consumer couple, right? They were surrounded by a village of people who they knew their entire lives. So people who would do, friends, aunties, grandmothers, all the rest of it. So can we have some volunteers to be the village? Who would like to come on up, village people? YMCA, Paleolithic village. Okay. So these are their loving couple. A few more. A couple more for the villages. So now they have sisters, they have friends, they have aunties, they have grandmothers. I'm not going to pick on you to say who's a grandmother. Kai, you're a grandmother. Okay? So they have role models. If they have a baby, where's that yoga block? Let me use it all. So if they have a baby together, for example, they can give the baby to the auntie so they can go off into the woods and make sweet pagan love. Okay, they can get the baby back, they have friends. If they have an argument, they can be supported by everyone and loved. And, so their relationship is very much held in this context of village. It's also held, we could say, eco-regulated. They're also in nature, right? So they're not just in a modern urban environment, they're in the nature, they can swim in the river together.
No, I feel like royalty.
And I don't wanna like idealize it because there's some problems in the Paleolithic, like high infant mortality and they don't have iPhones and cappuccinos, right? So I don't want to like make this too idealistic, but certainly their relationship is in a bigger context. Yeah. The other context the relationship's in is a context of meaning. So they have a belief system. They have a shared culture. It's not like being in the center of Brussels, okay, where everybody believes something different, has a different point of view. They have a shared, the universe is alive to them. They're animist would be the modern word we would use. They all have we need an earth goddess. Can we have an earth goddess?
Oh, yeah.
We need some sort of an earth goddess. Who's willing to be an earth goddess? Do we have okay, could you, in green, actually, can you sit there? Okay, you have to give her a little bit of worship, if you don't mind. Give her a bit of love, a bit of worship. Okay, so there's some sense of directionality, of meaning, of balance. Okay, so it's enough, let's not give it too big hands. So now your marriage, if you're willing to hold hands, if you're willing to be a couple a little bit, your marriage is in the context, your intimacy, this could be friendship, but I'm just using romantic, is in the context of nature, community, and meaning. So we can say it's co-regulated, it's eco-regulated, and it's theo-regulated. It's regulated by a shared context. And as cultures progress, this will still exist, right? Like I know an Orthodox Christian couple who say, we're married in the service of God. They have a bigger meaning or context than just we're married. Yeah? Okay. So feel what we're going to do now. Now we're going to do the modern world, post-modernity. So let's get rid of the gods. Nietzsche has killed you, sorry. Get rid of the nature, because so you can go away. Get rid of the friends, you're gone. Okay. And now let's give you an iPhone. Okay, give you some drugs and coffee. And take a moment to notice how that feels. There's a grief there, right? Do you feel that? So even though I'm saying this is kind of a joke, it's kind of a game how I'm setting it up. It's kind of a light way of teaching this. You feel the fucking grief. Who feels that? It's like a boom in the stomach, right? It's like a punch in the guts. And now they have to look after the baby. Oh, they have to go to work, of course. They're good consumers. They don't have meaning in their lives. They don't have maybe a spiritual belief. They have to make it up for themselves if they do. They're surrounded by strangers. They're in an urban environment. They've got 3 jobs and the kid to look after. No aunties, no grandmother nearby, maybe. Take a moment. How does that feel? So before is what you evolved for. That's your evolution before. 99.9% of ancestors were Paleolithic. Not ideal, I don't want to romanticize it, but it was at least supported. This is the modern reality for most people. Does this resonate with anyone, this modern life?
Yeah.
And you know, the amount of drug addiction and alcohol, I could add some drugs and alcohol to this, I could add some porn to this. Yeah, I could add some, what else could I add to this in modernity? Porn. Like, porn. What else would I add to this? Gaming.
Online shopping.
Okay, so people replace meaning with hedonism. Because they're trying to cope. This is the Gabriel Mate stuff. It's not their fault, they're just trying to fucking deal with the fact that they're in this meaningless situation. And they're also trying to be intimate. How sexy do you feel now? How easy is it to connect to your partner? And what do you have to rely upon your partner for?
Everything.
Everything! Your best friend, your grandmother, your intimacy, all this. So it's a lot of fucking pressure on you two, right? It's a lot of pressure. Keep breathing. This is the bad news. This is the bad news, is you weren't made for this. So if it feels like there's a lot of pressure on your marriage, or this could be friendship as well, right? If it feels like there's a lot of pressure, then, well, there is. You were not made for the current situation. You know? Okay, let's bring a little bit of hope back in. We still have nature connection. We still maybe can have a garden or a park. We can still have a couple of friends. So we have to nurture those relationships. So bring a couple of friends back. And maybe one of them is living nearby. You've got to know, how much you want them back, right? We can still bring a bit of nature into our life. Maybe not all the friends. Not all the friends. Okay, you can sit here. You're on Zoom. You're a Zoom friend. You're a Zoom friend. And let's make you're a Facebook friend, so you're just a little bit over here, but just another friend, you live on the other side of the city. Okay? And we don't have a sort of, we're not given a faith or a religion, like even in traditional culture, not even Paleolithic, they still had everyone was Christian in Belgium until 1900 or whatever, right? But we can create meaning, right? So we don't have a sort of given earth goddess or Christian faith, but we can still have some sense of meaning. Yeah, so we can bring you back in, maybe a bit less central, a bit less close. Maybe stand to the side. Yeah? So we can still have some sense of meaning. So this is the recreated modern village. We have to find ways to co-regulate, we have to build friendship networks, maybe co-mothering networks, we have to find some nature and bring that into our life, we have to find some meaning and bring that into our life. So it's not quite what we evolved for, but it's a lot better. How does that feel? How are you doing, ladies?
Much better.
Much better. Okay, let's give a round of applause.